Hey again, it's Dren, and I'm going to talk about mechanical filters and recording, and I think it's a lot of fun to play with this stuff. If you're familiar with the recording engineer Chad Blake, he's talked about it a lot in his interviews, and using mechanical filters got me to thinking, what could I use that was a mechanical filter? Led me down a path. I recorded a lot of mics through filters, especially for a project called Gunman Taco Truck, which was a soundtrack I did for a game. That path led me to this, which is my favorite mechanical filter. And I've got a few others here I might show, but I thought I'd share a little bit about how I recorded some of the guitar sounds for this project. Let's just get into it. Here's the Logic session. I'll play some stuff and then I'll show you how I might use this thing. So before we get into the session, maybe I'll just mention a little bit about this project, Gunman Taco Truck. It was a project by Romero Games, and that is the John Romero who was part of id Software, who created Doom and Quake and all those games. It was a family company. He started with his wife, Brenda, and they had a lot to say about the music because they're big fans of mariachi music. And this game takes place during an apocalypse after a scientist has accidentally nuked most of the United States, and there's nothing but zombies, and not necessarily zombies, mutants running around, and you got to drive your taco truck from San Diego to Winnipeg and get across the United States, all the while picking off cows and mutants and making tacos out of them, stopping at the side of the road, selling the tacos, using that money to upgrade your taco truck so you can buy better weapons and defend your truck a lot better. You can literally die in the game if you don't have enough salsa. I had a great time with this music, which is supposed to be apocalyptic mariachi garage punk rock or something like that. So it's not straight mariachi, although I used classic mariachi as the basis of this, and then I kind of tweaked it, hence the mechanical filter. The reason that I was doing all the weirdness to this is just to get that apocalyptic flavor. So it sounds like a mariachi group, but a real mariachi group wouldn't sound right. If we actually had a guitarron or some of the more sophisticated instruments used in mariachi music, it would sound beautiful, but it probably wouldn't sound like the apocalypse. So instead of guitarron, I used a cheap bass and played it through a distorted amp. I recorded a lot of the parts through this very filter here. I could use cheap guitars and I made it sound kind of trashy. So I'll play some stuff here for you. We had taco making music and we had action music for the running across and running into mutants. That was the action music, and then we had taco making music for when you stopped and sold tacos. This is one of those, and it's actually a cover of a classic mariachi song called Los Coronales. And I didn't roll my R very well there. So I'll play this trumpet bit for you, and you'll hear what I'm talking about pretty clearly. So here's the trumpet part with a regular microphone. Okay, so there's that part, and then we'll play the filter. This is a different microphone through a filter with that same trumpet part. So you can hear the difference there. It's not really the kind of thing you can get super easily with a plugin, so that's kind of why I like to use these mechanical filters. So there's the trumpet example. We recorded live drums, live percussion, live violins, live trumpet, and of course like the guitar that I did here. Here we go. Here's the violin part. You can hear the violin normal part. Here it is. All right, and now I'm going to switch to the filtered version. So for every track, I would mix and match the filter and non-filtered versions of these to different levels of trashiness, for lack of a better word. So that was kind of my process in going through and mixing these. Now, I think I have a good example here of a guitar. Sometimes with a guitar, I would just take a little amp. I've talked about these before. I would take something like the Orange, actually put it inside a of this thing. So it's like sitting in the bottom. And then this has an output on the top. So just plug it in from the top, this in here, and put a microphone on the outside of this thing, like pointing at it like that. And I'm pretty sure that's how I got this sound I'm about to play you. So you're hearing a little bit of the bus things. Through this whole particular album, if I had one defining plugin, I would say it was this PSP 2445 reverb. I used that as a bus reverb for almost everything. And yeah, if you saw, it was the bathroom setting. So I was using this bathroom reverb sound pretty heavily on a lot of things here. Then I also kind of put it through a Valhalla plate, but to a much lesser extent. So if I take those off, you'll hear what it's like without those. These are just kind of basic EQ, and I think they're just EQ stuff. So. So that gives you a good sense of what it sounded like through the filter. And here's a good example that I was going to show of this funny sound with the mechanical filter. Here is just a straight recorded acoustic guitar doing a strummy thing. Play that. So we have that, and then we have the same thing that I did on electric guitar through that little orange amp into a filter. And this is what that sounds like. So it doesn't even really sound like a guitar at first. It sounds like you're banging on something. But then those chords start coming in, and it sounds like this strange hybrid of guitar and percussion. I don't think I have any other plugins on this particular track. Yeah, there's no other plugins on that particular track. Here it is right here. That is just the sound of the filter and the amp and the guitar. Okay, so now I'm just going to show a couple real-life examples of playing around with this. I'm going to use this thing. I'm going to put it out with a Fender Vibrochamp. I'm going to stick a 57 inside of this thing. Then I'm going to take it out. You can hear without the filter and with the filter. Tin drum. We'll try sticking the microphone in front of this. We've got this wood, it's like kind of a cigar box. I don't think it's gonna sound good, but we'll try it. See what this sounds like. How to kick this thing back together. Fender Strat with Fender Vibrochamp. And this is that sound. Okay, so let's hear it with the filter. The mic is inside of that pipe thing. I didn't add a spring reverb. That's just the sound of that particular duct. I think it's an air duct. Well, I could sit here for hours and play around with this. This is a great sound, but this is what you want, right? You just try different filters. I got those other two filters to show you. Okay, here's that little steel drum from Antigua. Now here's that wood box with the same setup. Here's a little picture of it. Shows you what the recording is looking like right now. The same champ, the same 57, with a wood box in between them. All right, there's the wood box. All right, there you have it. Fun with mechanical filters with a Vibrochamp, a Shure 57, a Strat. I bet you got lots of things laying around the house that you could stick between your microphone and your amplifier. Well, that's lots of fun. Hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.